How are you? How was your day? Everything you did?
Good, good. Thank you. Coming along pretty well. Working on some more music ideas already and expect to have some more things out real soon.
Wow, interesting. So, okay, do you check my questions before I send it to you?
Yep, I did.
But before we start, I want to remind you, we just have a 40 minutes in Zoom because you and I have a basic account. But I promise you in the future, I will make with you another live interview with a different journey and different questions. Okay, so
Cool. That'd be great.
so I'm very happy because you like my music, Bandcamp, and
Yes,
thank you.
it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. It's really kind of where my mind's at in that kind of music.
Yes, sure. So, okay, music interview with my friend from Michigan, and question number one. I forget your name, John Scott. So, okay, my first question is, how you start making electronic music? I want to know your journey as your electronic music producer and ambient musician.
Yes, I started way back. Actually, my connection with music goes back to the 60s and 70s. And I wasn't a musician necessarily back then, but I was always working with building electronic instruments and big machines and all these sci-fi looking things. And I also was working with signal generators, audio frequency, sine wave and square wave generators, kind of like the I'm trying to describe them like test instruments that are used in test labs and things like this. And I was always fascinated by the sounds and the waveforms that you see on an oscilloscope with these. So it wasn't long before I decided to start experimenting with sound. And that's when I began to get the first ideas of what a synthesizer could do in a sense, without actually having a keyboard or a programmed computer or any of that. That didn't exist. It was all just dialing and changing the frequencies between oscillators, kind of like the BBC radio thing for Doctor Who, kind of that kind of sound. So that started me out with the audio, interest in audio and so forth.
Really, really interesting, my friend. Wow, it's a nice answer. So, okay, should we jump to next question?
Sure.
Okay, my second question is, when do you become interested in aliens?
Oh, that was way back in the 60s, 64, 65, because there were a lot of reports of unidentified flying objects being seen all over the country. But the area where I lived in Detroit, Michigan, there were a lot of reported sightings, and there were radio interviews with people that were seeing these things land even in their fields and all this kind of stuff. It was the Dexter, Ann Arbor sightings that sort of really triggered my imagination. Between that and the series The Outer Limits, which was a television series that was view about alien technology and space and just imagination, the best of imagination and science fiction. And I think between the two of those, I was totally inspired to look into it more, because if people were seeing things that were landing or doing that acted like a spacecraft, well, where are they from? The question comes immediately, what are they? What are they doing here? Are there alien devices or intelligences out there? And so, yeah, I was really curious. It was an automatic for me. I delve in head first into these things when I'm young.
Well done, my friend. Well done. Well done. Much a masterpiece you are. So, okay, another question is, what inspire you and what make you want to keep producing music?
That's a great question. The thing that really inspires me is I love science fiction movies. I love soundtracks and film scores, and I love the imagination and the vibrant energy that the scores give the film. There's something magical about that. Bringing those two things together, film and music, just creates a whole
movies, right?
dimension.
Soundtracks, sci-fi soundtracks, space music.
Right.
Yes.
That's right. And pretty much any kind of movies. I mean, film scoring is truly my favorite thing. I love that whole concept, but I love creating music to share with others. I mean, it doesn't have to be a film score, but that's sort of where I kind of kind of levitate towards, if you will, or gravitate towards. But I love all kinds of music. I'm into jazz. I'm into rock. I'm into progressive rock. I love all
So you
electronic
love
forms
all
of music,
genres. You love all
techno.
genres: rock, jazz, blues, electronic music, ambient, sci-fi music, soundtracks, film score, everything.
Yeah, everything. Very, very wide interest. I
Yeah.
don't close any doors.
So you are a various
But
one. You accept everything.
yeah, and exactly. And the thing with me with that, I've been inspired when first, like I say, when I first started dialing the knobs on signal generators and getting all these incredible wave shapes and tones and frequencies that could oscillate between each other and create all these beautiful sounds. The next step was to start working with synthesizers, as they became available and affordable. So I built my studio over the last 3 to 4 years, putting together one instrument at a time until I could get it to where I could just cut loose and have 6 or 8, 7 instruments, nothing super big, but just a really good,
But you have amazing,
clean, logical setup.
amazing gears and a lot of synthesizers, digital synthesizer, analog synthesizers. Much impressive. So,
Yeah, they are.
okay. So my question 4, why do you choose to broadcast music into space? What's the secret behind
Oh,
that?
ah,
Okay.
okay. With Project Strat, the whole idea of Project Strat was sending music and creative art ideas out. Things that would music is a universal language, I believe, and I think
Universal language, right?
sending music yeah, I think music would be something that doesn't require a lot of translating, at least in the sense of instrumental music. You can kind of feel it. You can tell it's intelligent. I mean, it's not a natural occurrence necessarily. It's you're derived from logical patterns and melodies or sounds or tones, and they're put together in such a way that they're automatic, intelligent communication. So it just seemed a natural to do that. Now I started out sending out binary tones and sequences. Then I went to music and the songs of humpback whale and those kind of sources of signals to send out. So I was working with all of it. And but music was the key. We actually got to the point where we're doing 8 to 12 hours a day of radio, low frequency radio broadcast to space. So and we
Oh,
had
it's been a
thousands of
time.
CDs.
It's been maybe 30 years.
Yeah, that was about
30 music
25, 30
space,
years.
30 years. You build your own generator and your own system by your own, right?
That's right, completely. Had a 2-story high room with
Are you
a
read?
100,000 volt transmitter that was 1,000 watts that we used for the main broadcast transmitter. And it was 2 stories high. It was huge.
Maybe you are the first man in the earth to do that. I'm impressed. I see a trailer on Netflix channel. I'm really, really impressed. Wow, what's happening? You're a masterpiece. Okay.
It was a big undertaking. It took it took 20 some
Short
years to
film,
build that.
short shown by
Yeah,
Netflix by the director Matthew Keller.
yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, give a great, clear impression of what it was really like.
So that movie give you a next step to move forward and make your music and be ambient music. Give you an inspiration to move forward to next level.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. Yes. As a matter of fact, in the opening scene of the movie, you can see me dialing in those tone frequencies on that dual channel Marconi signal generator and creating those overlapping spacey sounds. So that got me going right away. I was back to music immediately after
John
that.
tried
I
to
just thought,
contact
wow,
aliens. John tried to contact.
great opening.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Another question. Who would you most like to calibrate with?
Oh my goodness. There's so many. Mark Twain, people like I wish Edgar Froese was still with us. He was amazing. Matter of fact, I had the most incredible dream. I wanted to describe this, where I was in my grandmother's old house where I had the lab and everything. And I was in the living room, dining room area, and there was the whole Tangerine Dream setup in there, and Edgar Froese was there, and some of the other members, and they had everything going and making this incredible music. And I was sitting there with them in front of the synthesizers, and I don't remember which one of the members it was, but he said, "Take over for me. I got to go do this." So I took over the controls on this bank of sequencers and synthesizers, and I like right away, right at that moment, I realized he was in my dream teaching me how to create this music. And from there on out, I have been able to do that music. It was just like a lesson, a visual lesson, a sonic lesson. I was hearing everything. I was doing controlling it. I was working with it. It was fantastic. It was the most incredible dream I've had in years.
Of course, my friend. Fantastic. So, another question. Are there any artists that you draw inspiration from? If so, who and what sort of music?
Oh, as mentioned, Edgar Froese, Tangerine Dream, Spool is a group that really fascinates me. Thievery Corporation, they're doing some really modern, wonderfully brilliant stuff. I could list Kraftwerk as well. Can, yeah, Kraftwerk. A group called Can. Oh, those are older, but they're really good.
That for members, we are the robot. They are from another planet.
Yeah,
Yes.
right, yeah, and there's hundreds of others if I can remember them all. I mean, I love Mark Twain's material. I like Stephen Halperin, Mark Hedden. I mean, there's a whole hundreds of them that have influenced me one way or the other, and I can't even name them all because there's so many. But they've all influenced me in one form or another. Pink Floyd. I mean, some of the things they did in their early music production. Floyd.
They are a legend.
Yes.
David Gilmour.
Very.
And his legendary solo, the guitar. And yes, long story. Okay. Another question. Which approach do you follow?
What's that?
Which approach do you follow?
Pretty much, and when I'm produce music, I do a lot of live recording. I don't use computers or anything like that to record my music. It's all done on a. What's that?
So you have a modular synthesizer, right? I mean, a modular.
That's right. Well, pretty much, I have a little modular, but the rest of them are in the form of like a DeepMind 12, Roland JDXI, and then I got a bunch of the smaller boxes too. And I also have a Atari. I can't even say the name of the blasted thing, but it's the Matrix Brute. It's monster. It's closer to modular. It's really semi-modular, and it's outrageous.
Sound. Arturia Matrix Pro, I think, for advanced sound and sound. Yes, sound design.
Yeah, Matrix Pro.
Some kind of complex matrix and do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, semi-modular. And it's fantastic. I use that for my more complex productions, and then I use the other ones. I'll often play 2 or 3 keyboards. I'll work between 2 or 3 at once, and everything I record is live. I don't do a lot of multi-tracking. Matter of fact, I don't do hardly any. It's all live. Whatever you hear that I've done is pretty much produced live in the studio with one take.
Good job. I see your videos in Vimeo. Yeah. I see your videos in Vimeo live, and you with your gears and music. Yes, I see. You're much impressive. And so another question: what next for you as an artist?
I guess the next thing is I'm going to work on more visual content, not necessarily like most people do for say YouTube and that kind of stuff, but video of the actual sound patterns and how they generate images on oscilloscope screens, how analog screens, so you can actually see the sound waves, the frequencies that the synthesizers produce, so you can visually see it as well as hear it. So that is some of my next ideas that I'm going to go with, I think. Plus, I'm always looking forward to doing film score work for movies or film or short productions or creative things. Even in independent films are some of my favorite. I recently did some independent films. One for a group in Germany that did Strawberries Rebooted, the invasion of the strawberries. It's pretty wild stuff. Just wrapped that up, and it turned out really well. So the music just
Well,
carried that film. It really made it work.
so that's your next step as an artist, film score. Wow. You are,
Yes.
wow, my words cannot describe you, my friend. How about you are?
Thank you.
So my last question. What gear do you use in studio live?
What's that?
What gear do you use in studio and live performance? I mean,
What gift? Yeah, I'm hard to hear.
What gear do you use in studio and live?
Oh, okay. I use a bunch of stuff. Of course, the Brute Matrix, the Atari Brute Matrix,
Matrix Pro, sound synthesis.
Matrix Brute. Yeah, and then I've also got I use the Roland JDXI for some of the stuff. I've also got a Korg K Oscillator Pro for the effects and loops. I've got a Electribe EA1 that I use for more special effects and loops. And then, of course, I've got my DeepMind 12, and I work between all 3 or 4, sometimes even 5 of these instruments at a time. I also have the Korg Mini Log, which I've been using lately.
Like a network, you connect it all like a network, and you just control between that and that.
Yes. I don't use the MIDI, actually. No MIDI. It's all individually. I go from work between the keyboards.
I understand.
Physically.
Yeah, I understand.
I may set one up to do a pattern or a group of phase changes, and then I will play along with that phase change. So instead of multi-tracking, I've got the phase changing or the pulse or the sequence going here, and then I add my layer to it live on the next keyboard, the other keyboard. And I may bring in an effect here or there from the K Oscillator Pro or the TB3, the Roland TB3, whatever I'm using for extra little accents or effects. And I'll time those live. Everything, again, is live. There's no multi-tracking or no computers involved. It's all straight playing, just live, real-time performance. So that is kind of how I approach it. And the instruments I use, I've got, great, 4 or 5 keyboards, as mentioned. And then I've got the effects boxes and extra good sequencers and tools to work with to bring in and out, and a big mix console mixing board that I also mix live. That's another thing.
I see your year's name. You sent me in the list, and you sent me some of your photos in the studio. Much impressive. So, do you like my albums and music, right? Edge of Universe.
Yes.
Dune.
Wonderful.
So yes, I'm a self-taught artist. I do that all by myself. No one teach me. No one supported me. I think I am.
But what you've done is so beautiful.
It's not available in Iraq. It's not available.
What's that?
Electronic music is not available in my country.
Really? Wow, that's
and we
really
don't
weird.
have any music store to buying a synthesizer, and we don't have any academy to studying electronic music. It's very hard.
Wow. Oh, that's too bad, because it needs to be accessible. It's something that should always be accessible. It's the music and the instruments to produce the music, because that's in our souls.
Yes, that's very hard when I want to purchase a synthesizer or a gears. It's very hard. I must buy it from maybe eBay or Amazon and stake a long time. And to deliver. Yes.
Yes, that's where I bought most of my instruments is from Amazon, eBay, but pretty much eBay.
No,
And
no.
then I
A
have
lot of artists
a
around the world.
friend of mine.
The Amazon, yes. A lot of artists around the world purchase from the Amazon, yes. So
Right. And I got my Matrix Brute from a local, actually. He had it. And I'm way up in the country in the middle of sort of nowhere here. I mean, it's a sparsely populated area. And this guy happened to have a Atari Matrix Brute. And I bought it from him like on the spot. He is in mint shape. And it blew me away. It was so cool.
okay. Okay. That's all I have. That's all my questions and my interview.
Oh, okay. Maybe a quick, I'll scan the camera around so you can see the studio real quick.
Of course.
Would you like that?
Can you give some
Okay.
overview about your studio? Just a little overview, if you like.
Okay, sure. Let me see if this will work for us. I think it will. Let's see what we got here.
Oh, impressive. That's a mixer, and that's your studio. Synthesizers, yes. So you used a digital synthesizers there, right?
That's right. Well,
Okay,
analog and digital. I've got both types, yeah. I don't know how good the picture is. I'm trying to see it on a little screen
That's the
here.
wave generator, right? You tell me before.
Yeah, there's the signal generator down in that rack over there. Then the oscilloscopes and screens to display and record the music. I've got several digital recorders that I use, and that makes it real easy to get high quality recordings without a computer.
Impressive.
Yeah, well, I don't know how good this.
A lot of books, a lot of CDs and vinyl, a lot of things.
Huge,
like a encyclopedia.
Yeah,
Wow.
thousands. Let me see.
It's
This camera's a little.
Don't push yourself. Just relax.
Lots of CDs on the mixer board over there right now.
Yes,
We've been
precisely.
producing a program.
Well done. Okay. That's enough. That's enough. It's okay. It's okay. Don't push yourself.
Okay, I'm
Okay.
back.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Joan, for everything. You're
so welcome. Thank you. It was really great to do this.
I'm
And
really happy to see you in personal. And it's my honor that my lucky day to meet one of the best artists in the electronic world. And so much great of you. I'm really happy because
well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and you too.
Study with me. And if you need anything, I'm here. Just drop me a message. I hope
I will.
in future with another live interview with different questions and another journey. Thank you so much.
Yes, let's do it again for sure. And be sure and send me a link. I'll check this out when you get it up.
I'm very happy to see you, my friend. Thank you so much. Oh, that's me. Okay.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Thank you so much.
For the wonderful music.
Thank you. Okay, when we finish the interview, I will send you the link so you can share it and make your people see it if you like.
Okay. Is there a way to get a digital copy, like a file that you could send me of the video so I could have it locally on the computer?
But take a long time because maybe the video with large size. And I will send you a link in your email, YouTube link in your email. You sent it to me before.
Right. That'll work. That's a good way to do it.
Okay. Thank you so much, my friend, for your time.
You bet. Thank you, Oman.
Thank you. I'm very
happy. It was a wonderful.
From my country. And if you need anything, just
I'll
be always there.
And welcome to the USA, to you from Baghdad.
Welcome, my friend. I will keep producing music and moving on my own.
Oh, wonderful. Please do. And I'll be in touch. We'll do it again.
Of course, we will keep in touch. I promise you. Thank you so much.
You.
Have a great day.
You're welcome.
See you around.
Have a great day.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.